Hello and welcome everyone to Women Speakers Association's WSAT Premier Women's Show. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer, and today we've got an incredible topic. You can see on the screen, we're going to talk about how do you shift, connect, and radiate so that you can have the peace, the calm, the joy, the fulfillment, and success you want as a speaker, as a business person, as a full person in your life, whatever you're up to. And I'd like to introduce you today to our amazing experts. And so let's go over to Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi, how you doing today, Laura?
I'm great, thank you.
Yeah, good. Well, my name is Susan Thomas, and I'm the founder and CEO of Premier Coaching and Consulting, and I'm here from sunny Surrey, British Columbia. And you can always check me out on my website, which is premiercoaching.ca.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here. And hi, Shanna.
Hi, Laura. My name is Shauna Kabatsnik, and I'm coming to you from Richmond, Virginia. And I am a bilingual trainer, speaker, and consultant. And you can find me at shaunak.com.
Great to have you, Shauna. And hi, Gwen.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Susan. I'm Gwen Leopard. I'm a radiate relationship luminary. I hail from Montana, but I'm currently in San Diego, California, another sunny place. And you can find me online at gwenleopard.com. That's leopard like the big cat, but without the L.
Nice, great. Great to have you, Gwen. So today's topic, as you all know, is about connecting, shifting, making that shift, making the connections in your life, and then being able to radiate and attract in, make it so much easier. So I wanted to know from each of you and have you share with our viewers today, what is it? What advice do you have to help our viewers do this? Let's go over to Susan.
Yes, well, I've developed a program called Passion Driven Purpose. And the thing I like about it, it really gets to the crux of who you are as an individual. And the program is tailored actually for you personally. And the thing that it really revolves around is if you think of an athlete, how an athlete has to train and do everything that they do, but the mindset is the biggest thing. So we work with the things that are not serving you or not connecting properly so that you can live in that mindset all the time and then basically achieve your goals. And it's pretty awesome.
And how do people get into the zone? Do you have a piece of advice for that?
Well, there's we do work with affirmations and things like that to really help reconnect your thoughts, because sometimes your thoughts are your worst enemy. And once we can get down to those things, it strips off those layers of things that have actually been prohibiting you from moving forward. And a lot of times it's really up in the mind. It's what really I find is the biggest common denominator. So it's getting everybody like an athlete trained and in the zone. So yeah.
And so we can do that even if we're not an athlete, right?
Oh, absolutely, right? Because we've got to control this little guy up here to, work with us instead of against us, right?
Right, exactly. So once we get our mindset kind of shifted into the zone, something that we're not blocked, I wanted to go over to Shanna and ask you, what advice do you have about connecting and helping people to really step into that next level of success?
Thanks, Laura. Because of my background and because of coming from Quito, Ecuador, and being born to an American Jewish father and a Spanish Catholic mother, I always felt disconnected, like I didn't fit in any place per se. So coming to the States and learning to embrace a new culture has taught me to value people and people's differences. So to connect at a human level and understand each other in a way where you're no longer afraid to start a conversation. And Susan, it's what Susan said is you shift that mindset when you go to an event, and instead of thinking of it as a networking event, you think of it as a place to meet people. It's just shifting that, which allows you to be your true authentic self, which allows you to shine into that space.
Yep, that's great. So is that how people can really go to the next level, connect?
I think so. And all the training I've been doing, which is very interesting, I've been training with corporations, I've been training employees, I've been training women entrepreneurs, I've been training around diversity and inclusion. The whole premise of everything is to connect in an authentic, human, personal level. If you learn to connect in a way that you appreciate the other person, then the differences might not be as strong and as forward because you're finding ways to connect on something that you have that's the same. So it doesn't matter if it's a business meeting, or it doesn't matter if it's a casual meeting or a conference or an event, you can connect in that personal way.
I love that. I love the idea of connecting more closely with people. And Gwen, this is like the perfect lead into you because we've now shifted our mindset. We've connected with people. How do we actually create that ultimate radiance and attract in what we want in our lives?
Oh, thank you so much, Laura. Thank you, Susan and Shauna, for getting us to this point where we can start to radiate. We've shifted, we've connected. What I love to do is start the morning, and this is what I recommend everyone do, start with drinking water. First thing, like have a bottle of water available right next to your bed. So the first thing you do is you drink water. You can clear your energy field and making sure that your spirit is in your body every morning. And I have a tool that I share with people to do that. It's an energy elevator, and that gets you started from a really energized and grounded place. And you can deal with just about anything. Whatever life throws at you, you can deal with it when you're in that grounded, centered, confident place. And these are just some really simple energy hygiene steps.
I love that term, energy hygiene. I haven't heard that before, but it makes complete sense. And, it's as simple as starting with that glass of water in the morning that, wow, okay, it's not hard. And it really makes a huge difference to shift us into that place where we can actually take on doing the affirmations like Susan, you said, and making those authentic communications because we're feeling really grounded. So I think it's like this whole circle that keeps going around and feeds each other. And that's the energy of radiance. It's like if you're taking care of yourself, if you're making those connections that are filling your soul, and you've got the mindset, it's a beautiful thing. So the three of you are kind of like a perfect triad, wouldn't you say? It's great. So I want to get to know each of you a little bit better and have you tell us a little bit more about what you do, who you work with, and what's the impact you're making. Susan, why don't you share?
Sure. Well, I primarily deal with business owners, upper management, and things like that because I find they have a little bit more of an entrepreneurial mindset as well, which helps them to be a bit more open with getting training and different things. But I just find that my signature program, which is the Passion Driven Purpose, it's a 10-week course, and it can, and I find that through that process, it really gets to the crux of where they want to be, and we really isolate, so it makes it more clear where you're going. And and I find that's half the battle, is just taking that time to really explore everything, because within your life, it's being a business coach, it encompasses your whole life. You can't exclude your personal or whatever, but you have to factor everything in. But I find that's what really resonates with my clients, is just goal driven and achieving their, what they're looking to do.
And how did you come to this work?
Well, it's funny. I basically, I had a printing business here for 30 years in Surrey. I've been a Surrey City, or I ran to be a Surrey City councillor, hoping to win. And just I've mentored so many women and kids and things like that over the years that I found there was this sort of common thread, just in people in general, and we're always trying to do better. And so I don't know, it just I like helping people. And it's that you can take a man to, or a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? But the thing is, when people are ready to make those changes, then they obviously achieve the greatest value out of the program. But it's just sort of a stepping stone to continuing that process throughout their life, right? So it's giving people the tools that they need, right? So I just like it. I just love it when they have those aha moments, and it clicks, like, oh, it can be this easy, or because they put their own roadblocks in the way. So that's my
Beautiful.
part that I love.
Yeah, that's great that you were able to make the shift from your own business to the coaching world. And thank you for the
Yeah.
great work you do. And Shanna, I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you do, who you work with, and what's the impact you're making.
It's a couple different things, but on the corporate level, as a trainer, what I find that the impact I'm making is I bring that energy in the room, and with sharing my story and what it felt like to be so disconnected, I'm bringing that authentic value to promote people to connect. And I do training around diversity and inclusion, training around sales, training around connecting with your prospect. But the whole point of it is the connection part. That's what's bringing it all together. And I also do empowerment because I own Fab Women, and that is empowering women to be fearless, authentic, and bold. So I've got kind of a mix, but I want to say that the common thread is that value of connecting. And Susan, just like you said, is that aha moment when a person shifts in either again either through a training or when I'm doing one-on-one coaching, and they get that light bulb goes off, right, and they get that moment that says, this makes sense, and there's that feeling of I can do this, and it's moving them forward in whatever. So honestly, my ideal client is it's mostly been women, but like I said, I've been asked to do a lot of training in corporations, but I'm focusing on the insurance and financial services industry because that's my background. So I know how women feel in a male driven industry, and I want to be able to share what I've learned and how did I become a top producer? How did I succeed in sales? How did I learn all that? So now I'm coming from a different angle and training insurance companies leaders.
Lovely. So you did it in financial services yourself, and then you've turned it around. Is there any little piece of the story you want more that you'd like to share about?
Uh, that's a good one. I will tell you that it's hard. It was hard as a female and it was hard as Latina. So not only was I female, but Latina. And when I started on the financial services industry, I was going through a divorce. So I was single, two kids, female and Latina in a male driven industry. And I got pushback. I got pushback from people that I guess had their best intention, yet they tried to tell me that I couldn't make it. Of course, my feisty little spirit, and I'm like, you know what? This is why I'm going to make it. And I was blessed to have amazing mentors through that journey. That whenever I created that self doubt, and Susan, back to what you said about the mind, those negative thoughts, when I kept saying, I can't do this, there was someone that was put in my space that said, no, you're here for a reason and you can do this and move forward. 10 years later, here I am doing this for them.
Beautiful. Thank you for making that leap and doing it and being a role model for other women and leaders in a similar situation and women in general. And Gwen, I'd love to hear about who you work with, what you do with them, and what you're passionate about, impact you're passionate about making.
Yeah, Laura, thank you so much. Shauna, it was great when you were talking about connection because I work with empaths and leaders. And as empaths, we feel way too much. We're way too connected. And because I'm an empath myself. So I help them remove that baggage. So, a baggage begone mentor. And I help those that have experienced narcissistic abuse and past sexual assault overcome their relationship baggage, optimize their self love, and own their personal power so they can have love, peace, the freedom that they desire. Freedom's been a big call around empaths right now, especially with all the narcissists that are out there. There's 1 in 5 that's a narcissist. So I'm really passionate about is creating radiant relationships across the board that stand the test of time. And we start with the one with yourself. And recently I was working with a client who had really, really heavy energy from a very narcissistic ex. It was in her energy field, and it was actually like sewed onto her energy field because she felt so responsible for this person. She didn't want him to hurt someone else. So she like, I'm good. I've got him. I can have him ruining my life as long as he doesn't ruin anybody else. This is one of the things that empaths do. And I did a relationship residue removal with her. So we removed that shadow, removed the responsibility that she was holding. And after it was gone, she was able to breathe easily. She felt lighter, more like herself. And before, she'd been really haggard and tired. She felt like her face was just old. And after, even just there in the session, the youthfulness returned to her face and her body. And she literally texted me a couple of days later to say she's finally, after years, losing the weight.
Wow.
Wonderful. Lovely.
Yeah.
Powerful work. All of you do such incredible heart-centered work that really help people shift, connect, and live that radiant life, whether it's their mindset, kind of getting that aligned so they can not be blocked from taking the actions they need to do. It's making the connection, Shanna, like you help people do with your Fab Women and the other work, speaking work you do, or it's like getting that residue gone, things that we're stuck to. So Gwen, that's great. And Susan, it's just been amazing. Now, I would love to know a little bit about what drew you to Women Speakers Association and really what the value has been for you. Because here, I mean, we get women like you who make a huge difference. And if you want to learn more about how to do that, if you're not yet a member, go to joinwsa.com. We have a whole page there of how you can get involved and ask questions, answer testimonial videos there as well. But I wanted to hear from each of you. What is the value of Women Speakers Association to you? And let's start off again with Susan.
Sure. Well, I found for me personally, Gail Watson, I've known her for years. I've met her actually networking years ago. And ever since then, we've always remained in contact. And I was looking at other opportunities for groups like this. And because I knew of Gail's integrity and just what she always puts into everything, I've found so much value with it because it's kind of put me into like there's a program with the WSA, and with that it kind of helps you to move you along, gives you the tips, the training tools to get you to where you need to be, and that really it just saves so much time. And I like it because Gail's in Vancouver and I'm in Surrey, so we're very close by. But really the organization is awesome, and when you need help, it's just a keystroke away or a phone call away. So it's awesome. Oh, muting. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
When I would have to agree with you, and when you need someone or an organization behind you, or you need to find some resource or someone to have your back,
Yeah.
Women Speakers Association really is that for you. And
exactly.
And Shanna, how about you? What is the value of Women Speakers Association for you?
So I was part of the free Facebook group first. And I was just amazed about all the interaction there was there, engagement, support, conversation. And then I happened to come across something that said that Gwen was going to be in Virginia Beach, which it's only about an hour and a half. Well, it was closer to 2.5 hours that day because of traffic. But as a leader in my own organization, I'm very careful before I jump into something, because unfortunately, sometimes who you see on social media and who they are, real people, they're different. So I was like, I loved her. I loved Gail. I saw everything she was doing. And the opportunity to meet her face to face was like, I was like a little kid. I was like, I am there. I am so there. And I'm telling you, as soon as I walked into that meeting, she greeted me, she gave me a hug, and everything that I saw on social media, on the Facebook group, was who she was. And I value, again, authenticity. You got to be 100% authentic if I'm going to invest my time and money with you. In the moment, I was like, okay, where do I sign up? And now that I'm on that premier side, you get so much more, and you get so many tips, and you get a lot of good stuff. I mean, sometimes there's so much, but it's like Susan, you said, you have resources. You know that if I have a question about a program or about a pricing or whatnot, I can go to the Women Speakers Association group and ask, and I will get people that truly want to help.
Perfect. If you need advice on a speaker one sheet, if you need advice on where to go to get certain types of speaking engagements, if you want your speaker profiled on the largest speaker profile, what do they call it, directory that's out there, we get that for you. We give that to you. So, Gwen, what do you love? What value are you receiving from Women Speakers Association?
Thank you, Laura. You actually invited me. And we've known each other for a long time. And I was really excited when I saw it, because I know that you do such great things in promotion and marketing. And that is my weak spot. And I'm great at helping people, but I'm not great at getting the word out. So I came to the event, and you were there, and you made some incredible offers, and meeting Gail was amazing. And so overall, what I love since I've been part of WSA, the connection, the support, this interview, all the wonderful women and training. And it's so great to meet you, Susan and Shauna, being able to meet people from totally different parts of the world. It's so cool. I see long-term association with WSWA, and I'm really excited about all the possibilities.
And we're excited about that too, about that long-term relationship and connections, and what we call, like, this is a sisterhood. It really is a place for you to settle in and get as involved as you want, as you need, get the resources when you need them. They're just here for you 24/7. Your membership works for you, whether you're super active or putting your toe in the water or just using it when you need it. It's so reasonable. Go check it out. JoinWSA.com. We are here almost every week bringing you live shows with our Premier Women members who are so passionate about, and if you love the quality of the women, you resonate with them, then we'd love to welcome you in. So thanks everyone for being here for our Premier Show. Go out and shift, connect, and radiate, and we'll be back with you next week with another episode. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you all.
Everybody.
Okay, bye.